right, we are live again for Woman in Business Wednesday. Monica, welcome home. I say that because we were just at our Empower meeting, and Dr. Aaron actually said, "Welcome home," and we had to,
Yep.
greet the person next to us, "Welcome home," and then later we found out the reason and what is behind that. So, and we can kind of dive in a little bit later onto
Yes.
why I said, "Welcome home."
Yes.
So,
And those of you
everyone.
that didn't make it to that meeting, you guys missed a great meeting today.
Yes, if you are a woman
Definitely.
in business, definitely get with Rena Woman Owned Business and also Empower. I think this group of individuals are strong women that, definitely supports each other, right? Wouldn't you say?
Definitely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like the camaraderie and the just support, like whether it's, hey, I know a little bit about this business, or hey, I know a little about that, or just I need a vent. Like the group has been phenomenal, wonderful. You connect with people that you wouldn't think that has to do anything with your business, but like I was just telling you, somehow God aligns everything up for you and full circle comes, and trust me, just trust the process.
I agree. And it's so crazy because I came in the networking group super shy and like I didn't
Yes.
know who to talk to really. And everyone just kind of like greets you with open arms. And
Mhm.
the support that I've been just even seeing the past couple weeks, especially from you too, has been
Oh, thank you.
incredible. So I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate the group. So if you're a woman, you have a business and you want to be around like-minded people, this is your home.
Definitely. Yes, welcome home.
Yes. So, everyone, today's live. We're with Monica. I'm so excited to be here with Monica today because we're going to be
Thank
talking
you.
about notary, and she's also in finance. So,
Yep.
I'm super excited. Monica, introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about you.
Ugh, that's like the famous question I always hate, because it's like, what am I? So, anyways, my name is Monica Esquerra. I am a notary as well as a financial professional, and I don't know. I really, I guess I should start out with my why was. We adopted a little girl, and it took us many, many, many years to get here. And so, as an older toddler mom, I made it a fact, not a fact, but like a point that by the time she starts kindergarten, I want to be able to work for myself.
Mm,
Why? Because I want to be able to spend time with, taking her to school, picking her up from school. If there is, anything that needs volunteering, that I'm available. Because in a normal job, you can't do that. I mean, you can, but there's always like, oh, do we have coverage? Or you know what I mean? There's always a but.
yeah.
And my purpose, I guess, is just she was my why. And so we waited so long to have her that I wanted to be available and to enjoy her. So I was like, what can I do to have a job that I can have that flexibility? So when we were actually going through our whole process of adoption, like I needed notaries like here and there last minute. And I'm like, God, I'm like, I don't know any notaries. And so that was just kind of like the start of I'm like, maybe I should look into this, notary business. And I did. And an old coworker was like, she was really my go-to person with like questions I had. And she was, help me fill out my application, with my license and whatnot. And then as I got comfortable with it, then I'm like, oh, what else can I do? So then it led me into loan signing
Okay.
notary. Yeah. So then also with that, I was like, what, with my husband's crazy schedule, a lot of the times, like either I had to take her with me to
Mm.
appointments, or I'm like, what else could I do? So then there was e-notary, which, is not very common. And it's basically, online notary. I can meet up with anybody, I can notarize nationwide. So it all kind of just like it was a trickle effect. So um, I guess that's not telling you who I am, but this is my reason of like why I got to where I am today. And then finance, it same thing with notary. I was doing a lot of notarizations for living wills and trust, for rolling over your 401ks, transferring funding, all that stuff. And then it's funny because I had a broker reach out to me online, and she was looking for a preferred notary for her team because of, licensing and whatnot. So that's kind of
Mhm.
how I started. And then she kept like implanting little nuggets in me of like, hey, like, like you could do this and this and this with, uh, in the world of finance. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, but I was never like drawn to it because I'm like, I'm comfortable where I'm at. But then like the more I was like sat in and like listened to meetings and whatnot, I was like, okay, well, maybe I can do this. And sure enough, I took that leap of faith and I studied all summer and I passed my test and here I am. And,
Awesome. So
yeah. So,
kind of told me how notary and finance came to being. So it kind of came together for you for both.
yes, unexpectedly, but together.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
So, okay, so you're exploring both options. You went ahead and dove into finance because you finished the exam and everything last summer. What does your
Mhm.
typical day look like? And
So
how are you
my
juggling?
priority, yeah. So I had to like be really strict about that because it was like I felt like I was spreading myself thin everywhere. So I really had to
Mhm.
make a schedule, stick to it, and execute it. So in the morning, same routine, get my little one up, get her ready for school. I drop her off, and I supposedly said that I was going to be working out when I dropped her off, but lately I've been doing nothing but networking, and that has really paid off. So I'm very thankful for that. So normally between like 9 and 11:30 I'm networking, but then I also come home and I work from home and I am working on following up calls, following up with clients, checking in on policies, checking my agenda for any, last minute, like right now between our networking session that we just left to now,
Mhm.
I got three, requests for notaries.
That's
So
so
then it's like I
awesome.
have to do that to call them back and arrange those times. And then I made it to myself, like while she's in school, like that's my time I dedicate to my job. And my husband was like, the same thing. Like, if you're working, did you work and do laundry? Did you work and make dinner? He's like, no. He goes, so use that time just as you were your regular, 9 to 5 and dedicate that time to do what you have to do. So I've been sticking to it and it has been tremendously helpful. It's been working, it's been giving me the results that I was looking for, and just, I guess, answering questions that I had lingering in my mind. And it's like I stick to it and I do it. So, yeah. And,
Uh,
I've just things that I've been goals of wanting to achieve that I've incorporated in my day to day. And yeah, I'm proud to say that I've been sticking to it. So, yeah.
that's awesome. That mustn't be, it wasn't hard, I'm sure, because right now me and my team are in transition with
Right.
offices, let's say, and I've been working from home too, and it's the
It's
the
hard to switch one part of your brain off and focus when it's like my
yes,
husband's like, "No, you have to treat it like your
yeah.
normal 9 to 5." Like he goes, "Don't worry about, doing laundry, don't worry about making dinner." He's like, "Just do what you have to do and do it." And I was like, "Okay."
I
So
love that
once
you
I
have a
kind of
supportive partner. That's awesome.
yes,
That's
no, it's
important.
like it is. It is. At first it was like I was very unsure because I'm like, there's always
Mhm.
been a steady income from both ends coming in. And I was like, am I ready to make that leap of faith? And we just went with it and stuck to it. And here we are. So it can happen. It takes time, dedication, patience, and just
Action.
moving forward. Yes, action. Exactly.
Well, I'm so proud of you. Like I've seen your
Thank
growth
you.
and you've been coming out, like just seeing you at networking events,
Yes.
having some time even with you. I'm seeing your growth, like,
Oh, thank
from
you.
over here and your involvement and everything. And I'm sure it is
Yes.
all paying off. So I'm so glad that we've met and we've connected.
Yes. Well, thanks to you, you've pulled a lot of us out of our comfort zone. So you're a key part of it. So thank you.
Oh. And okay, so I want to hear a little bit about your notary like tips. Like,
Okay.
what are some common mistakes people make when notarizing documents, and
Yeah.
how do you think, people can avoid that?
So a lot of the times I will get to appointments and people have already like filled out their documentation and I'm like,
Mm,
no, girl, like you needed to wait to fill this out until that's the whole reason why there's a notary because I need to verify notating your information, verifying that it's you. So a lot of people try to like jump ahead and like to save
mm-hmm.
time and I get where they're coming for. And so like luckily a lot of the times like they're like, okay, like I'll just reprint it and we'll start from ground zero. So that's my very first mistake. I do see people like where they try to be proactive to help the situation, but obviously
Really
that's
not.
the whole reason why they need a notary is because I need to verify who they are, their signature, making sure that everything on the document is accurate. So that's one big mistake. Also having like not a valid ID, either it's expired
Mm,
or they're giving me like I don't know, some other type of identification, but mainly I want like a valid either ID, a driver's license, or a passport we can use. Um, and I mean, if I know the person and like their ID is expired, like I can still vouch for them. But at the same time, like if I don't know you and I'm going in blind of like, I don't know who you are and
yeah.
this is an expired ID, like that's putting my signature and my title at stake that I wouldn't be feel comfortable signing and validating for this person. But then also, I make sure that the client is also understanding what they're signing because sometimes, you'll just say, like, oh, well, a lot with our seniors. I did a lot of signings for like seniors in nursing homes. And I'm like, are you
Mm,
understanding what you're signing? Because I also want to make sure that, they're fully aware of what they're signing. Rather,
mm-hmm.
I can't give them advice on, how to sign, but I want to make sure that my clients also understand what they're signing because, with our seniors, they're like, oh, my child had me sign this. I don't know what it is, but I want you to make sure that you understand what you're signing. So, those are the three top things I have personally run into. So, even though like people try to think that they're helping by being proactive and having everything filled out, um, sometimes it's not because then we have to reprint everything and then fill it out in front of myself. So yeah.
Yeah, those are really great tips. And so Monica, how does like a mobile notary like yourself make just life easier?
So one, I come to you either to your home, to your work, or a lot of the times it's hard when there's like more people involved than just a signer. So like if you have to
Mm,
have a witness, mainly in wills and testaments, you do need to have two witnesses that are non-family. So it's hard correlating all those people together at a
mm,
certain time or whatever. So a lot of those times it's after hours because either the uh, person is working or the other what's it called, the other witness is on the other side of town or whatever. Nobody can really meet at the same time, so I let them figure out what's a good time for them and then I come to them, or we can even do it online. So
okay.
there's a wide variety of convenience that I provide to them. So I do a lot of signings for people out of state.
Mm,
So yeah, as long as I'm in the state of Nevada, I can notarize wherever you may be. So
I love
that's a
that.
huge convenience. And like I said, I didn't come into the e-notary world until like a year later,
Mm,
because it wasn't a thing. And now it has been super
super
convenient and
common.
it's yeah, it's like how you and I are right now. We jump on
Right.
a Zoom call, I send them the link, they upload their document, they upload their ID. We're on a platform that it's being recorded just, for vouching or not vouching, but like proof that, everything's being done accordingly. And literally 7 minutes, we're done. So super easy,
Nice.
super convenient.
Okay, I love that.
Yes.
And so switching up some gears a little bit, so finance. What are
Yes.
your top 2 or maybe even 3 tips you think everyone should know, especially now that we're, here in 2025?
Well, everyone thinks like life insurance is for old people. No, like No, I cannot stress that enough. And I was guilty of that myself
Yeah.
until we became parents. And I was just like, like, life insurance, if I die, I die, end of story. But no, huge misconception. Anybody that if you're working, if you are a parent, single parent, is highly important that we get coverage because not only can you use those for obviously when you pass, your family's taken care of, but also
Mhm.
you have living benefits. So, like, if you're, facing a hardship, especially our small business owners, if something happens to us and we're not able to work, guess
Yep.
what? We don't get paid. So if something were to happen to you, you can pull that money from your living benefits and still pay your, rent or your mortgage, you
Mhm.
know, put gas in your, car, put groceries on the table, just things that we honestly take for granted. It's a huge security blanket for you, and people don't realize that. They just think, "Oh, life insurance, when I die, then, my funeral expenses covered." No, and I was guilty of that because that's what I thought as well, but it just way more than that. Or, you can also use it as, like, your own savings. You invest that money and you see that little nest egg grow and grow and grow.
Mhm.
Because, when you put it into a regular savings, what are you earning? Nothing.
Nothing, close to nothing.
Nothing, close to
Yeah, what do
nothing.
banks get you, you know?
Um, less than like 3%, and like
Oh,
what do
way
you
less.
take away for that? Nothing. And again, I was new to this and didn't know, and we have different agencies that we can have that money grow up to 22 to 23%.
Mhm.
So rather than just putting money away and not seeing it grow, like, you can put it into an account and it's going to be working for you, and it's going to be creating that, that large nest egg, as they say, for when, it does come time to retire, or if you need it for any emergency, or if you want to travel, why not? You have that money, it's available to you, with no penalties.
Yeah, I always say retirement is not an age or a number. It's how
No.
much money you feel comfortable living, right?
Yeah.
So the sooner the better. Don't wait for tomorrow. The best
Nope.
time to start your financial planning is now.
Now. Now, I have a niece, she just turned 20, and she's like, "You know what, Thea? I wanna be responsible. Like, I wanna have money for, later down the road if I wanna decide to buy a house when in a few years when I get older." And, like, I'm proud of her that she, like, rather than thinking, like, "Oh, I can just, live my best life." No, she wanted to save money and put money away, and even, like, we opened up a policy for her, then less than $100 a month, and it's taken out of her paycheck. We can set that up for her and, save that money and put it away and have it work, that, she can triple that amount of money that she would get into, like, a regular account.
Yeah. And there's just
Yeah.
different options, right? And good to like look into diversifying, like
Yes,
like you're just saying, not just your savings, but like diversifying in different accounts. And
exactly.
someone like you can help educate and let people
Yeah.
know what is available. So I
And
love
we
that.
can, if you have a policy, we can review it with you and see what your options are or what your
Hmm.
goals are and how we can help you reach those goals. So it can be as low as like $50 a month to like whatever you want to put into it.
Something,
Yeah,
honestly, it's
there's
like,
there's a plan for everybody. Whether
hmm
we start small and watch it grow later, or later down the road we can contribute more to it. But you want to start something and get that in place and make it happen.
I love that. The best way is to just start. The
Yes.
dollar amount doesn't even matter. It's just
Nope.
the actual action of you doing something to benefit you for your future.
Yes, because the amount of GoFundMe's we see, the
Mm,
amount of just everyone thinks like, "Oh, it's not gonna happen to me." And there has been so many like unexpected like deaths that you see or illnesses, and it can happen to anybody at any given time. Like, we are not promised tomorrow,
yep.
and it can happen to you. And the worst is it can happen to you and not be prepared.
Yep.
Because the least, going through a trauma of losing a loved one, losing a family member, losing a spouse, and then you have to figure out how to bury them and how to survive. Why are you going to add that to your plate?
Yeah. So don't wait, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a conversation away to finding out what's good for you.
Yeah.
So
And nothing is set in stone. Like, it can be a conversation we have and you think about it. And when you're ready, let me know.
there you go. So I'm just going to open the floor to
Excuse me.
anybody. You know, if you have any questions you want to ask Monica about notary or even finance, where to even start, you know, drop it in the comments below. And this live stream is more for Monica's introduction, who she is, what she does, and you know what I like to do with Women in Business Wednesday is to rotate through the people I've talked to in the past to kind of
Yes.
follow along with their journey. So I'm super excited. I got connected with Monica. I got to know her business more, and now we're working together. We're working
Yes,
together with just you know growing and supporting each other. So I love that.
definitely.
So if you guys have any
Thank you.
questions for her, you know, drop in the comments. Monica can definitely share her website and
Yes.
information as well in the comments below. And if you know anyone that needs notary or needs financial, I know Monica services a lot to Spanish speaking as well.
Yes.
So she's your girl.
Yes. Thank you. No, definitely. I feel within our culture, it's a big misconception of it's not a normal for us to have a life insurance. It's not, we're not educated about it. And that's a huge misfortune because people think because of my immigration status, because of my finances, because of my not knowing the language, that I'm not entitled to coverage. And no, that's not the case. If you
Mm-hmm.
have an ITIN number, we can help you. It's and people, like I said, it's the lack of education within our own culture that people think that that's not a possibility for them. And no, like there's so many resources that we have that we can help you, and that has been a passion of mine to help our Hispanic community because the amount of GoFundMe's we see should not be happening, you know, should not be happening. And yeah, so it gets more in depth with that, but it's just, yeah, it's a subject that's near and dear to my heart that, yeah, no family should have to go through that.
I agree, you know, and just like you touched on, different communities, different cultures, right? Have I feel like that financial gap, and it just takes
Yes.
someone like you know, to definitely help educate and to help start that process of how can we get better for you, for your family, and whatnot, right? That
Yes.
way we just have that.
Create generational wealth for your family, for your kids, for their future, because that's all we can leave them. That's what we're here for. And like I said, none of this mattered to me until we became parents, and then it's like, whoa, it was an eye opener, total eye
Yes,
opener. But it
yeah, it's not
shouldn't
about
just
you
stop you
anymore.
at that. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Because I'm like, okay, what happens to her if we're not here? Like, what's going to happen to her? And so our biggest concern is that she's taken care of, and whether it's with us or on her own, but that she's
Hmm.
financially secure. So yes.
Well, I love that, and thank you, you know, Monica, for hopping on to our
Yes.
live
No, thank
today.
you for having me.
Our
I
live is
appreciate
in
you.
on Facebook and it's also streaming live on YouTube. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, especially on my
Yes.
YouTube account. That way you guys don't miss a live session with me and one of the women in business. And Monica, do you have any closing words?
Just believe in yourself. I mean, like I said, I've learned so much from these ladies in the last few months that, like, you are your biggest cheerleader. If no one's going to advocate for you, you advocate for yourself. Like, because it's your business, and that's your livelihood and that's your name behind everything. And so you need to, like, just hustle. Hustle a bit. You know what? You have a ton of wonderful women that support you. And, I always see that quote like, oh, God wanted you to succeed, so he sent you strangers, because it's true. people that are going to support you the most are not your friends and family. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be people that you connect with, that you communicate with, and they're the ones that, you know, put your name out there. And trust me, like, you have to put into your business in order for it to see it grow, and you'll see it.
And Monica, you've been an inspiration. I see you move. I
Thank
see you
you.
go out there, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much
I'm
for
proud
hopping
of
on
you
the line.
too, girl.
Thank you. Well, you guys, till next time, till next Wednesday. But yeah,
Till
if you
next
guys have any
Wednesday.
questions, feel free to go ahead and comment.
Muchas gracias.
Bye.
Adios.